Um, even though I just finished recording this, I'm just gonna skip the intro and just go right into it. So, obviously, first thing you need is you need your VRoid model. Just make sure, right, before you do anything else, just make sure to go to the expression editor and make sure that all of these are set like the best that you can for that expression, because I know there are more complex VRoids out there that have like extra things all over their face, and if they close their eyes, sadly it doesn't close all the way, but just get it close, get it as close as possible. Go through all of these and just fix them so like the best you can to how you would like to see it for that expression. And what you're going to go ahead and do is, now when you're finished with that, you're going to go over to export as VRM. Obviously we need to export it so we can put it into Blender to add the blend shapes. This tutorial, by the way, is only for people that do not have any intention of using HANA tool. I myself don't have the means to get it because it requires a form of payment that I'm not willing to give. If it's either that or like region issues, just make sure that you do not plan to use HANA tool if you're doing this tutorial, because I'm not sure if it will transfer over well, or if at all. I'm not sure if it will work with HANA tool. There is something about the delete transparent meshes option. If I remember correctly, I can't remember at this moment in time, but there might be something about that option that is very important if you have to use HANA tool. So this is only for people that really just are curious about making their own blend shape, or just want to make it from scratch and not have to pay someone to do it, or pay money for HANA tool. So just keep that in mind. But we're gonna go ahead and export our model. Also make sure to remember what version of the model it is, because if you want to edit it further in, let's say, Unity, you need to know what version of the model it is, or else it won't work. Like, it will be very annoying the first time. But just make sure you know which format it is. Name it, this model's name is Kyle, and go ahead and export it as a VRM file on your laptop or computer. Now that you're done with that, you're gonna go ahead and go into Blender. So first thing you need is, we have to delete all of the stuff out of the scene, so that's only the model that we're working with. Make sure it's empty. Then if you try to import the model as is right now, you will see that you won't be able to because there is no VRM option. So what you need to do is you need to come over here to this one, VRM add-on for Blender. This will be in the description below, but basically it's an add-on that allows you to import or export models from Blender or into Blender. Just make sure to get the version that's correct for your Blender version. So I'm using 4.2.3, so I would need this one. If you're using anything from 2.93 to 4.1, click on this and it should allow you to download that version instead. You can either drag and drop, which I don't know if that works, I never tried it, probably does. But if you would rather just install it from your files, you can just go ahead and, by the way, do not extract it. It's gonna be a zip file, don't extract it, it doesn't need to be extracted. But you're gonna come over here to edit, and you're gonna come over to preferences. Let's move this over. You're gonna click this drop down arrow and then press install from disk. And it will ask you, it's basically asking what file do you want to add on to Blender. So we're going to do that, and it will open the VRM add-on. And once it installs properly into Blender, you can press this arrow drop down and you're going to see this option. If you see VRM there, that means you did it correctly. So now you can go ahead and import the model, and once it's done, it'll load in your model. It might take some time, but it will load in. It might look white as well, but the textures will pop in over time. Once you have your model there, just know that this model is called the armature right here in the collection, scene collection. And basic controls are, by the way, I recommend using a mouse if you're on a laptop like I am, because it makes it more easier. I don't think it's even recommended to just use the trackpad. So just get a mouse and do this. Basic controls are scroll wheel and hold to move around. The axis wheel is for like looking at certain angles, certain specific angles, like flat angle. To move around, you have to click and hold this, move the view button, and just hold it and move around like that. Control Z to undo. Hold shift when you're pressing on two objects to select multiple objects, and that's it basically. Okay, the first thing I would do usually, now that we have our model, is I would hide the parts that we don't need. So that's the body and the hair. So we can come over here to the drop down, click on it, open, and it will show the body, face, hair. click on the eye icon to like hide the body and the hair because we don't need that. If you don't want the bones as well, you can press on the armature icon itself, the eye, and it will hide the bones only. So you're left with the beautiful bald head. So now we can go ahead and actually start. First thing first though, object mode is how you select certain objects. So like if you want to switch from the head to like say the body, if it was unhidden, you would go to object mode. But if you want to like edit it, you know, like move around things with the mesh, you have to go to edit mode. You're going to see a lot of vertices when you go into edit mode, and that's not what you want because you want to make him move his face. But how do you make something move if it has so many parts to it? You know, it's too much. There's too many dots on the screen. So we need to separate all the materials. And what I mean by that is, you know how in VRoid Studio you can edit, you can add the eyebrows, the eyeline, the iris into like separate parts of the body. Those are all the materials that are in the model already. They're just joined together right now. So what we need to do is we need to separate them again. So we can do that by going into object mode. Oh, excuse me, going into edit mode. Pressing A to select all vertices. And then we can right click and then go all the way down to separate and then separate my material. So now we have that done, and it will be like this over here. We're gonna have a new set of face parts. Those are all the parts of the face that we just separated. If you go back to object mode, there's the skin, eyebrows, eyeline, iris, any part of the face that you have on that model will be there. I don't have eyelashes for that model, so I don't have an eyelash part. So that's a good example of any part that you edited. Now we're gonna go ahead and actually start editing stuff. So to understand how a Blendshape works, a good example is, I wish I could put like a video of maybe a VTuber debut. Usually they'll have certain camera views of the model and they'll zoom in on the eyes. So whenever the person or the VTuber closes their eyes, usually with the really high pricey ones, they have like really pretty fluttery effects, or like their iris moves and wiggles around, like it bounces, like stuff like that. Those are probably like a bunch of the model parts moving together to make that one movement. So those are all, I would call all the parts of the eye that move around Shapekeys, and that one movement, aka the blinking of the left eye, Blendshape. So good example is what we're doing right now. We're trying to make ARKit face tracking. So ARKit face tracking has 52 Blendshapes. If you come over to this site right here, it'll be in the description below, but if you come over to this site, it'll show you all the lists of the Blendshapes that you need, all 52 of them. And that's basically what you need to do to have full facial tracking. You have to have all 52. Well, you don't have to have this one. I usually don't have it because of personal reasons, but you can have it as a blink movement. Any movement that you don't want, by the way, if you don't want to have it on your model, you can just have the name there and just leave it blank. Don't make any edits to it, and it'll just be there, and it will allow you to use full facial tracking. That's more important for like certain services like Leopard, because they require you to have all of the Blendshapes. It won't let you use full facial tracking if you're missing one. You need to have all 52 in name on your model. We're gonna go ahead and do the first one, first easy one. It's the brown inner up. So we're gonna go ahead and copy that name. And obviously it affects the brow, but also it affects the skin. Only if your model has shading like my model does on his face, I would recommend you to move the skin as well. But you don't have to do that if it doesn't have shading. That's unnecessary. But what we're gonna go ahead and do, we're gonna select the eyebrows in object mode, and then we're gonna go first, we're gonna go all the way down here in this area, and we're gonna make a new shape key. So these are the shape key. This is the Shapekey Blendshape area. And we need to go all the way down and press this button to add a blank shape key. And we're gonna name it brown inner up. So make sure that it's highlighted, that you're on that one. Now you can go over to edit mode and you can go ahead and move the vertices around. But if you were to go ahead and just try to move it around like just like that, you will notice that it's just one dot you can click, and that's very time consuming. So turn on this button right here, proportional editing, and what that means is any dot within this circle that you can control by using the mouse wheel, any dot that's in that circle will move along the vertice that you're editing. So Control Z to go back to how it was. And what we need to do is we need to move it up, but notice how it's not moving it proportional to the other side. It's affecting the other side, and we don't want it to be like that. So first we need to turn on connected only so that it only affects whatever vertice is connected within that like mesh space. Basically, any dot that's touching that dot, even if it's far away, it will be affected. So since the dot isn't connected to this side of his eyebrows, it won't affect that side. So that's perfect. That's what we need. But we also need to mirror it by turning on the mirror tool right here, the X one. Now it will only affect the dots on the respective sides, but it will also move both sides at the same time, which is what we need honestly right now. And you just go ahead and edit it, use the mouse wheel to scroll the area and move like little bits by bits, and that's it. That's how you make one shape key for one blend shape. But we need two shape keys for this blend shape because we need to move his eyebrows and we need to move his skin. So we're gonna go ahead and go on the skin now, pressing it in object mode. Again, go all the way down to the shape key area, then press the plus icon, and again paste the name, brow inner up, and we're gonna go back to edit mode. And now we're going to move this up, and again turn on the mirror tool if it gets turned off, and move it in tune with his eyebrows to make it more natural. So now we have that done. My avatar, by the way, some avatars have this extra like eye line to make their eyes more longer. If your avatar has that, or like if you added that yourself, you can easily fix it by just tweaking it as well. So like I will just do it here. If you don't want it to move like that when you raise your eyebrows, you could just put it back to how it was like that. And there you go. So now it's not affecting it, but it's still moving the shading. That's how you make shape key for blend shapes. And since both shape keys are named the same, if you combine the materials back, aka the skin and the eyebrows together into one mesh, it will still affect that blend shape. So for example, we have both of these named brown inner up on both materials. Let me go back and show you. Oops, wrong one. Yeah, they're both brown inner up. So when you go ahead and combine them by clicking one, holding shift, clicking the skin, right clicking and join, even though it was two materials, now it's one, and see how it's moving together now. That's how you combine Shapekey to make one blend shape. So now that we finished the brow inner up, now we're going to do brow down left, brow down right. So the left side of the face is always the right side when you're facing the screen. Just remember, left is right and right is left. We're going to go ahead and do brow down left. So we're going to make a new shape key on the brow object. And we're going to the edit mode. Oh, we need to copy and paste the name. Let me scroll down. Brow down left, copy and paste. Now we're going to move the brow down on the left side. That's done. And we're going to put it all the way to 1. We need it to go to the max value so we can duplicate it on the other side. So we're going to do new shape key for mix, aka we're duplicating any active shape key on the object. We're going to put that back to 0, the original. We're going to go scroll down to the next one, brow down right. And we're going to put that to 1. So what we're going to do now is we're going to press mirror shape key. So now it's going to go on the other side. It's going to flip. So now we have both sides done and it's symmetrical. This is a warning. Whenever you use this button, new shape for mix, it doesn't just duplicate the one that you intend to duplicate. It duplicates any active shape key. So if you forget that a shape key is on, let's do this one, right? If you forget that that's on and you want to make another shape key because you want to duplicate it, right? Let's imagine we didn't duplicate it already and make the left side. I mean the right side, I'm sorry. So we already have this side done. But let's say you didn't notice that that active element, that active shape key was still on and you duplicated it and you turn it off like how you're supposed to. See how it's like doubling the effect, because even though you go, oh hey, I found the one that was on, right? And you turn it back to 0, it still has it because it duplicated every active, shape key that was on. So that's why I recommend paying attention to what you're doing and paying attention to the names of the shape keys and making sure that if you finish duplicating an element, to always reset it Or if you're about to duplicate an element, to always check and make sure that there is no other shape key that is on besides the one that you want to duplicate, because it will do that. It will add on more than what you need. So just remember that. And yeah, that's basically it. That's all you need to do to make shape keys. Remember that when you finish making separate shape keys on separate materials, if they have the same name, when you combine all the materials back into one face, it will stay. So a good example, again, even though they're all separate materials, when you join them back together, it will still have the down brow left. There we go. Yeah, still there. Even though it was on separate materials that we did it, and we still have the brow inner up all done and combined properly. So let's say you finish all the shape keys and you combined them all to make all the required blend shapes, and they're just one face right here. You need to go to the VRM tab right here that's open, and you need to come down here to Blendshape proxy. So these will show you the blend shapes that are already active on the VRoid model. Even though you made these here, it didn't apply to the model. You have to apply it yourself. So what we're gonna do is, good example, we're gonna put the new shape key, the brow inner up that we made. So we're gonna copy and paste the name right here, this one, and we're going to paste it here, and then leave the preset as unknown, and then use the dropper. It's gonna come down to binds, press the plus, use the dropper at the face. That's the bind. Like, it's asking what blend shape part of what model part do you want to add to the data for the model, so that it can be used in facial tracking software or whatever. So have that. Face is the mesh, and the shape key, you can paste it again and it will be brow inner up. And now you have that as an official blend shape that's added to the list of blend shapes on the model's data, not just, in Blender editing. And that's basically it. That's all you need to do. I would say that is all you need to do, but there are certain parts of the blend shape making process that can be a bit difficult. One I would obviously say would be this part, the jaw open and the mouth closed, or jaw closed. There we go. Because you have to do this, and that might be a bit difficult, because even if you follow the instructions like how they say it, it won't look as good on the model. So I might do a separate video on how to do mouth shape specifically, and how to help people undo that part, because I myself struggled on that for a while. But yeah, for now, that's basically all you need to do. That's all you need to know on how to make blend shapes for your models. By the way, I forgot to mention this, but if you want to do like this one, cheek puff, where you have to like stretch the skin out, obviously I don't think using the edit tool and editing vertices will be enough for that. So you can go ahead and make a new shape key and go to sculpt mode instead. It's right there in the drop down when you click it, and you can go ahead and press inflate, change the radius to 100 or so, and you can go ahead and just like inflate it a bit. You can barely see it, but it's doing something. There we go. But yeah, you can do that. You can literally it's kind of uncanny valley, but that's how you kind of like inflate the cheeks. That's how I did it. You kind of do it a little bit less uncanny, and make sure to have mirror tool on, but that's one way to do it. I think that's a good way to do it. Yeah, just forgot to mention that part. I tried to go as fast as I possibly could. I tried to explain everything as best as I could. I'm not an expert at this. Please remember that. There are other tutorials on YouTube as well. That's how I learned how to do basic blend shape making. And if you have any questions, you can just leave a comment. I'll try my best to answer. But for now, that's basically all you need to know. That's what I did in my, experience for this model, and many others that I made for other people. But, that's all you need to know, basically.